In this video, we're going to suppose that y varies inversely with x, and y is equal to 8 when x is equal to 3. So we want to use that information to write a general variation equation that relates x and y, and then we want to find y when x is equal to 30. So first of all, we want to write the general equation, and then we're going to use the equation for the second part, or the second question in this video, to find y when x is 30. So let's go ahead and talk about what it means for y to vary inversely with x. And you see that I have that in green, and the reason for that is anytime you see something to the effect of y varies inversely with x, what you want to do is you want to translate that into an equation. And since we're talking about inverse variation, what we're going to say is y is equal to some k divided by x. And so that k is just the constant of variation, and that's the thing that we need to solve for to figure out our general variation equation. And we can easily solve for that because we're given that y is equal to 8 when x is equal to 3. And so basically what we're going to do is we're just going to plug that number for y and that number for x into what we just wrote in green, and we're going to solve for k. And then we're going to plug k back into the general equation with x's and y's, and that's going to give us our answer to our first part of this video. So in the place of y, we're going to put 8 is equal to k divided by x. In the place of x, we're going to put 3. And then to solve for k, we would just multiply both sides by 3. And then, of course, 8 times 3 is going to give us 24. And that's going to be our value for k. And so that's kind of like the intermediate step before we can actually solve the problems that were presented to us. But that does tell us something very important. We just need to plug 24 into the place of k back into that thing that we wrote in green. And so now we're rewriting this in green. Instead of y is equal to k divided by x, we now know that k is equal to 24. So it's going to be y is equal to 24 divided by x. And that's going to be our general variation equation, or the answer to part 1. And so that's our first answer. So now the second question asks us to find y when x is equal to 30. Well, now that we know our equation, this is going to be really easy. We're looking for y, so I'm just going to say y, and we know that y is equal to 24 divided by x. But in this case, we know x is equal to 30. And so all we need to do is put 30 in the place of x into what I boxed in green, our general variation equation, and then solve or simplify as much as we can. So in this case, we can divide the top and bottom by 6. And so dividing 24 by 6, we're going to get 4. Dividing 30 by 6, we're going to get 5. And so our answer is that y is going to be equal to 4 over 5 when x is equal to 30. And so now that's the second answer, or the answer to the second part of this video. And that's everything we have to do.